And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Strategic Command of World War One. Call to Arms campaign is the Central Powers. This is the third part of the third stream. So we're going to start off on the Western Front, doing some reconnaissance for our counterattack to take the Hex back that we lost to them. Do I even really want that Hex back at this point? It's a completely ruined mine, so that's probably where we'd attack if we were to want to attack next. So I'm actually going to leave this guy where he is. We're going to get him his infantry upgrade. His weapon upgrade. We got you, your weapon upgrade. And we're going to start doing swamps into the battle line to get weapon upgrades for our troops. Oh, and obviously we're going to want to replace the destroyed core, which at this point can just pick up infantry weapon 1 right as it's being recruited. Did I recruit the right one, or did we lose 2 core? Okay, we'll just take 2. That'll work. We had the MPP, so that's not a problem. So you obviously want to regenerate. And I suppose the ones we have that are not... Like, you probably want to get your weapon upgrade. You want to get your weapon upgrade. Oh, I should do the recon before I do the infantry attacks. That Montenegro will surrender. You know, we're not going to take such bad attacks. We got artillery support coming in on the next turn, so the artillery will pave the way. Okay, so we got you out in a raiding location. Let's get these guys back to port. As I almost, well, I got lucky and didn't have the dumb happen. The dumb would have been hitting my own mines, which well, you're less likely to hit your own mines while moving through them than the enemy is. Oh, you need to resupply too. You want to heal, but you don't. So yeah, get there so you can get resupply to be next to the port. That'll work. You've got 1 shell. You probably want to keep that 1 shell for Counter battery fire. Okay. Yeah, so we're at the point where when Bulgaria joins, we will have a rail connection from Vienna to Constantinople. That means we'll start being able to send supplies to Constantinople to strengthen the Ottomans. We will also have a rail connection leading all the way down to here, meaning we can push troops in to put down this revolt lickety-split when that happens. Really don't have the action points to go back there. That's not going according to plan. I'll swap with you. Okay. Let's force march you there. Take the infantry up and upgrade. Well, that was probably the wrong orientation. I wanted to optimize that, but too late. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely are beginning to drive the Russians back. We've got them encircled the fort here, so we'll destroy that one in the upcoming turns. A lot of our Germans over here can get infantry weapon upgrades, which will make them even stronger against the Russians. Okay, these are people who can move, not people who can attack. So, reinforce you before you send you back in. Push you forward to get better supply. Grab infantry weapons. These people could, if they had enough supply, upgrade infantry weapons. They just can't because they don't have the supply. Okay. And then you're Hungarian, and the Austro-Hungarian do not have that upgrade yet. Fair enough. Anyway, let's get both subs upgraded. We've got low supply sub on the way back. You've got supply 8. You're low strength, but reasonably high supply. We'll go out and around Iceland, so we don't have to run the blockade. You have some supply, so you should be able to swap to silent running, run the blockade. Okay, so you can still run with no supply, you just don't go as fast. Okay. Let's get you up where you can interject up there. Yeah, so hoping that Bulgaria comes in. At this point, I'm surprised they haven't come in. Oh, they're at 81, so it's not going to take much more to push them in. And, well, we just did something that will push, I think pushes them in, which is the making Montenegro surrender. Although, if they wait any longer, there won't be any Serbia for them to come help fight. And they'll be instead lining up for the fight with Greece. Ah, just remembered this front. You can't do any more reinforcement because the supply hasn't improved. I can't force march partisans. Walk off into the desert here. Take a reinforcement there. I think that's what we want to do for the moment, as far as the terrain's concerned. So now we're on to purchasing stuff. We want to buy stuff. If I was to buy something as the Ottoman Empire, I probably actually would buy the HQ, so I should save out the HQ. I think we're at the point where we've got everything purchased here that we want. At least until we get more science completed. And then we're going to save this for Bulgaria. Oh, we finished the industrial tech, so we'll grab the last shit that we want for industrial tech. So this should take us all the way up to 5, although it'll get slower as we get closer to 5. Because every level it's going to take a shit out, which is going to slow the search rate down. So I think Austria-Hungary want to be spending on research. Let's grab the last artillery weapons, because our artillery is still going to be doing quite a bit of work. We'll grab a production tech. And then as the Ottomans, we're saving up for an HQ. So we won't touch their research right now. And I think we're ready to cycle a turn. And yeah, I think we should hopefully finally have Bulgaria coming in. Also, Montenegro's capital reduces Serbian morale. Montenegro surrenders. We plunder 85 MPP for Austria-Hungary. Austro-Hungarian saboteurs strike at Italian ports. White German convoys disrupted. Scotland blockades imports to Germany, or blockade north of Scotland and in the North Sea are blockading imports to Germany. Acceleration on advanced subs. Aerial warfare improvements. Production tech. Infantry weapon 1 for the Ottomans. French warfare level 3 for the Ottomans. It looks like it's good weather, at least in Serbia, for the Serbians to defend with. For counterattack. Salonika prepares to receive French shipments bound for Serbia. A little late for the Serbians in this case, but I didn't realize the defense at Verdun had taken damage as much as it had. I'll have to repair there. Netherlands moves towards the Entente, 19%. Oh, that's an uncomfortable map towards the Entente. Portugal to the Entente, 7 more percent. We disrupt those convoys. Oh, winter came in hard and fast. Although, arguably it's an incredibly late winter. First snow we're seeing is January the 1st. We've got all the German jets invested. Denmark's still leaning Central Powers. If it goes any farther, we're actually going to start taking a national morale hit. Or we'll take a national morale hit on Denmark. Same thing with the Netherlands. If it goes much further, we'll take a national morale hit. Oh, we're not going to over-reinforce you, which I actually will do in this case. Or pushing you back into the line. Okay. Oh, and our new and improved subs are ready to go out. It's winter, so obviously there's no interdicting on that supply line. Yep. We'll do that. I don't think the one with the 0 supply is actually going to do any raiding, but there's always the opportunity to be wrong in a good way. Thinking taking this attack in this weather is bad plan. Although I've got enough shells, I'm gonna be wasting shells if I don't start attacking. So start shelling. Oh, can we get the plane recon run? Not on the target we want. Yeah, not good weather. We made some progress, and we can keep shelling if we need to. +1 there. Yeah. Okay, let's move you to better supply, which is probably going to be the old capital. And yeah, this is not going to be good weather for any sort of action. Ours or theirs, I think. Although we will go after... oh, I should probably save up the shells. Yeah, save up some shells, and then we'll go after that location. Although if it's 0-1, why am I even waiting? Yeah, 0-1. Do the recon, we can send the 0-1 attacks in after a brief shelling. An infantry weapon upgrades is really strong in detachments. It's still +1, even though they have they're far cheaper than the unit that you normally be replacing them with. Yeah, let's do the swap there as well. Allows us to pick the upgrade up on this core. And because of the swap, you're still able to do that very mild reinforce. Oh, and we don't get any stuff from Sweden because the Sweden port's frozen. Fair enough. Okay. At this point, the game's just making me a straight-up liar about Bulgaria. Bulgaria's up to 85%. I'm pretty sure they're coming in. Question is when? Okay, if you can reinforce and you can't, I would have you reinforce some of the parsons. I'm gonna try the foreigners come around and cause problems over here. I think we already moved these, honestly. And that's probably where I want to leave them anyway. Shells, we got 2. We want more. We want like 4 before they do anything. Not good enough weather for that. Oh, you do have upgrades, so we can upgrade the detachment here for a little damage. And then let's actually pull you back so that you can potentially upgrade as well. This detachment's not... Well, this detachment we're upgrading in case the parsons come up and start causing problems. Yeah, and I should upgrade these guys as well, because these guys are going to be holding the line against the troops in Greece when Bulgaria joins. And then we're going to pick up an HQ with you. Kemal Pasha shall be recruited. That's probably going to get spent on tech for Austria-Hungary. And then again, we're holding onto a bunch of stuff, so we're going to pick up stuff in Bulgaria very rapidly when that becomes a thing. Hopefully becomes a thing. And then research. Anything new for Germany? No, Germany has something new until it finishes something. Working on aerial warfare, which is more fighters and better bombers. Then we're going to want to do fighter development. We may do some ground attack at some point. Not too worried about ground attack. It does do de-entrenchment on the bomber, so there's an argument that maybe you go that earlier to make the bombers do what we're doing with the artillery. Oh, that's my fighters. Although you'd have to get 2 levels of it because it gives you half a point. You'd have to get both of them for the recon bombers to do any de-entrenchment. Those are active, but I don't think I can... I think I moved them. Yeah, they've been moved. Oh, 0... We'll take this 0-3. 0-1's also tempting. That was actually 1-1. The RNG on those dice rolls. And that'll allow these guys to upgrade with the infantry weapons on the next turn. Okay, hopefully the weather gets worse for our enemies on their turn. Let's cycle the turn. UK reinforcements arrive in the Middle East. Taunt raiders disrupt Norway-Germany convoys. Infantry weapons level 1 for Austria-Hungary. I'd argue the weather got better for the Allies. I'm not appreciative of that. UK introduces conscription. The second Anzac Corps set sail. Oh, poor subs. But yeah, most of our subs that are out and about really need to get back to port to do repairs, replacements, upgrades. The new wave is on its way out, but it's not out yet. Okay, enemy red knot. Loses 1 MPP. Desperate Serbian counterattacks. Enemy contact. Romania getting pushed towards the Entente by 7%. Scotland blocking ports to Germany. And North Sea as well. The No Conscription Fellowship proclaims its opposition to conscription. German socialists oppose the war from the Spartacus League. And it looks like we've got good weather. Our turn. Damage, 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 damage. Blocking ports to Germany. Okay. Light cruiser there. Okay, we got another batch of fighters. One to the west, one to the east. And we got our railgun that I don't actually really appreciate. It's pretty weak. Austro-Hungarian Marines. And the Austro-Hungarian Mountain Division. Mountain Corps. Okay. We got 3 shells. We still probably want 4 here to do an attack. They're getting more and more interested in maybe trying to pull a unit off. Okay. That's a semi-serious option. To keep those partisans from getting more out of control. No luck there. Tempting to take the 1v2, but I'd rather have entrenchment, because we know there's more guys behind them. And the British unit here is going to be more of a threat than the one single Albanian unit. the detachment. Oh, the Russian national morale must be getting terrible. I haven't upgraded that Austrian-Hungarian artillery piece yet. That was a lot of air and not a lot of boom. Okay, this one will be a little bit more disruptive. Okay. In some ways, I must think I must have low-rolled in Bulgaria, because Bulgaria is not in. Not in at all. Although at this point, we only got one last place to take in Serbia, and Serbia will surrender. And then it'll be working to Albania and working to Greece. So that's working. I can upgrade those next turn. Was there something I can upgrade here? Yes. And our reserve units. Okay. And I suppose from a research standpoint, the Ottomans should also try to grab infantry weapons too. Although it's a long way off for them. The Austro-Hungarians have only just researched it. Nothing to research with the Germans. Nope. Hit the DD. Okay, that should hopefully protect the battleship by forcing them to go through the submarine. Unless they go right there. I want you to keep trunching through the desert. Okay. And then you're ready for swapping some on the front lines. We'll do that. You over there. You're off the front line now, so we can get you your infantry weapons. Can even overstrength you before pushing you back into the front line. Get you overstrength before pushing you back to the front line. Oh, and you're ready to swap, so we'll swap that one. Oh, we can overstrength my fighters. Yeah, let's do that. And part of the swapping and overstrengthening is you can't swap or overstrength guys who are immediately adjacent to a hostile. Basically, if you're in zone of control of someone else, you can't do it. Okay. Almost forgetting about the all Hova Blue with ships over here. No, you got supply one. You really need to. You need to leave. You got supply one, so you need to leave. You've got supply 0. Okay, so we worked out there is a sub there. Not that the sub can shoot the sub. You need to come in for resupply. you're not really in a rush. I kind of probably want to put you back on the... Let's put you on the route in case the route comes back online. And port doesn't look as frozen as it could be. And at some point the port location changes because I'll finish repairing one of the other ports. And at some point, we'll have partisan places we have to hold. Oh, actually, arguably, we already have them. Should put some on Belgrade. Who's free to send to Belgrade? You, arguably, are the only one that's vaguely free. Send you to Belgrade. The other one's protected by the guys on the front line. And then, yeah, we need Bulgaria to join. I suppose we can pay the 50 to get a push them a little faster. 5% chance to get another 5%. They should be coming. And then from diplomacy from the German standpoint, we've already invested what we can, because you only get 5 chits. So we have to wait for one of those to pay off before we can reinvest. And for the case of both Denmark and Netherlands, I should actually just reinvest again, so that finishing doesn't actually free up any resources. Yeah, so we're toughening the units over here. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. I swapped an artillery into the front line. Someone's going to tell me, you swapped your artillery in the front line. I'm like, yeah, I did, and that's real stupid. We're about to probably lose the first artillery. Let's be fair. Well, that's a mistake. What we're looking at losses. Collectively, before we lose the artillery, which is going to be a bit of a problem, we're looking 14% to the Central Powers. So we're definitely losing enough that maybe losing artillery is not going to be game losing, although it will definitely be a setback. 19, 12, 14, 51. Yeah, so Russia's leading in the losing category. National morale, we got the British down to 80. French are down to 70. Italians are down to 81. The Serbians are down to 45. Russians are down to 51. We're still up over 110% as the Germans, 117. 101% as Austria-Hungary, and 64% as the Ottomans. So the Ottomans are the faction struggling the most, which is why we want to get the rail line open to them. And arguably at this point, the rail line, once Bulgaria joins, is open. So we'll be ready to do stuff. Yeah. And yeah, we're basically waiting for Bulgaria to join. We're at a fairly good place to put a part break in for as YouTube is concerned. I think I'm not going to resist a call to do one more part, so we're going to do one more part. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow, because we're going to record an extra part today. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back to record one more part. We shall see whether the artillery survives. There's a small chance the artillery will run away. Oh, and of course, everywhere I shifted, the artillery has been unentrenched, so I've really screwed up. Yeah, we got a hole in the line. We'll see how that goes in the next part. So if you're watching on YouTube, part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to take a short break, and then we'll be back. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.